Personally, man, I'm just a series of failure, man. I must fail. Like it almost feels like it's part of the ritual to building anything for me.
Taiwo Adeyemi is one of Nigeria's leading talent managers and a former manager to Tunde Onakoya. But his journey began with his parents making him sign a legal undertaking when he dropped out of university to follow his passion.
You know, when you're doing it, it doesn't feel like you're being brave. It feels like you're being stupid. That's what everybody's telling you.
He survived by mastering transactional networking, what he calls deal friends. But his ultimate test came when he spent his savings and sold his car to fund the documentary Road to Blow. When a 20 million naira buyout was offered, his emotions took over.
And he made an offer of 20 million naira. He broke my heart, and I told my lawyer that no, we're not going to do this. So I walked away from 20 million naira because of something I thought was going to succeed regardless. As I speak to you today, this project is nowhere.
In this episode of Growth Through Failure, Taiwo unpacks the danger of loving your own creations too much, why you must define your failures, and the unspoken reality of the entertainment business.
You know, it's actually Tunde that said this thing to me. We will all use each other. Just make sure we don't misuse each other.
Wow,
Yeah.
that sounds like a prophet.
I learned that, and I think I just made peace with it.
All right, so we begin. Taiwo, from another Taiwo from the surname side.
Yeah.
Tosin Taiwo. My granddad was a twin. What is the failure you're sharing with us today?
Well, too much. Like
It's got to be one.
It got to be one. Professionally or personally?
Any.
Because personally, man, I'm just a series of failure, man. Like, I think for everything I've ever done and succeeded at, I failed at it. You know, I'm not like a one-hit wonder. No, that's not the right term. I'm not like a one-take actor. You know, so the first time you do it, it works. Now, I must fail. Like it almost feels like it's part of the ritual to building anything for me. From being a child to being a teenager to dropping out of school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was studying civil engineering and I didn't understand what I was doing there. It was my parents' idea. I was always a creative child, but I think they were trying to secure their own future. They wanted a successful child, and based on their understanding, creativity was never, one of those options. So I was studying engineering and I left it, and then I went to advertising school.
Oh, wow.
So they already considered me a failure even from that point. So I was constantly trying to correct that impression. So my entire life has been trying to convince myself and convince my mom and my family that, I knew what I was doing when I made that decision. To a very large extent, I think I've done that. But, you never really stop proving to yourself. Even if I'm no more proving to them, I'm still constantly proving to myself.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was like the first taste of failure. Academically, I was such a failure. I was a big fat failure. It just wasn't my thing. The four walls of a classroom was not the best way I learned. And for someone who is very knowledgeable about what they do today, I think it was a simple fact that there were other ways for me to learn. Because when I left school, I was a voracious learner. But
So when did you leave? Did you leave in second year?
Third year,
or
yeah.
Third. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So you went
I was
3
almost
years.
done. Yes. I was
my
actually
God.
almost done. It was
3
just
years in.
I just couldn't bear one more day. So I stopped going to classes. I was still in school. Obviously, when I don't know if you know anything about dropping out.
I know.
There's a format to it.
Guy,
You don't just leave.
I have a relative who shall remain nameless, who we thought had graduated. We were now thinking NYC, set him up for the stuff,
That's
all
how to
that
do
kind
it.
of stuff.
That's how to do it.
And we even sent him money for the NYC stuff. He finished. He was supposed to have finished at Osu.
Oh, okay.
So we sent him the NYC, like, okay, we'll hook you up with a particular place or whatever. All that kind of stuff. He was collecting money from us. And it turned out my dad was just thinking, I don't know what's going on. Like, let me just go to Osu and go to the registrar and see his certificate or like his stuff. And they just said that, he dropped out in the second year. So basically,
Well,
for 2 years.
I didn't have to put my parents
didn't
through
think
that.
I was that,
I was lucky. I call it lucky, because a nosy person went to report me to a sister of mine who I think they just knew each other on Facebook or something. So she saved me a lot of that. So they found out
Voila.
very, very quickly, and I was invited to the house.
And they were like, Shabi, you've only got
Yeah.
another year or so.
I just disappointed them. So they gave me an undertaking to sign.
Whoa.
Yeah. So they gave me this undertaking form, which is essentially you have made this decision in your right mind. Whatever outcome
It's on you.
is on me. And I signed this without even thinking. Yeah. And I left the house, Ibadan. And I came to Lagos.
Okay.
And I didn't have any choice than to just...
So you grew up in Ibadan?
I grew up in Ibadan, yeah.
Where did you go to school?
Additional college.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was just it was failure to them, but not to me, because I wasn't a vagabond. I didn't leave school to be like homeless. But I just knew that I should be in the arts. I shouldn't be in the sciences. So I moved to Lagos and I got an internship at an advertising agency, and they actually paid for my advertising school.
Oh,
Yeah, shout out to Oluyomi Ojo. He's very integral to my story.
Say his name. I didn't hear you.
Oluyomi Ojo.
Oluyomi Ojo.
Oluyomi, yeah.
Okay.
He was the one that saw, I don't like, between he and Uche Ogo of blessed memory, the friend of mine that actually placed me in that internship. He passed away 2 years ago. So they just thought I was good at this like creative thing, and I moved to Lagos.
Like, how long was it before you did the signing?
It was a year.
So there's a 1 year
Yeah,
period
so
in that period.
For 1 year.
So what are you thinking? What emotions are you thinking?
No, that's
Like
when I
how
was
you-
actually consuming a lot of knowledge. Like I was living in my uncle's house in Lagos, and I was just reading everything I could read about people that I admired. I feel like 60-70% of my knowledge today about the media industry came from that 1 year. Like I learned so much. So I read everything readable. Like I read Richard Branson like a lot, because he also left school,
Yeah.
So I was just trying to convince myself that this could work. So I consumed knowledge to a point where I felt like I know what to do or what I'm doing.
But as you're consuming that knowledge,
Yeah.
what mindset do you have at that point in time? I don't want to put words in your
Yeah.
mouth, like this has happened. It's always kind of like a semi-traumatic, is a brave decision that
Yeah.
you made.
Yeah, it was very risky.
So
but
like what emotions, what if you were to put that in
there was
words?
fear. There was definitely fear. I'm not going to sit here and say, I was so sure that I was going to work out. No, definitely. I'm not even going to recommend this to anybody. Just do the safe way, right?
Wow.
Because you have to have a little bit of insanity, and delusion in you to make decisions like I made, right? So there was fear. Every day there was fear. There was also like self-esteem issues, because in Nigeria, like, you're as good as your certificate.
Yeah.
So you're not sure if you should speak too much. You're not sure if you should, Man, it was such an interesting season, because like I remember last year or 2 years ago, I was teaching a master's class
Oh, wow.
at the Pan-Atlantic
Yeah.
University. And at the end of my class, I told them that I dropped out of school,
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people don't understand how bravery works, because it takes a while before you are even aware that what you did was bravery. When you're doing it, it doesn't feel like you're being brave. It feels like you're being stupid. That's what everybody's telling you, but I just kept at it. So that 1 year was like my own school, my personal school. And I did graduate, even though I've not stopped learning, but like that year was very, very integral to everything I've built today.
As you're going through this, like, how would you say you handled those emotions, like the fear? Like, what did you?
Well, I think it created a lot of anxiety in me. I'm probably certain that was when my anxiety really started, because I'm living with anxiety every day.
Nigeria doesn't help.
Yeah, Nigeria doesn't help. So it's just hope. I feel like that was all I had. I strongly believe in the concept of, if somebody else did it, I could do it. So those human references really helped. I termed it human references because, like,
So you're reading biographies.
that's all I read.
That's really good, actually.
That's
yeah.
all I read. I was reading biographies, some self-help books, but like a lot of biographies written by people that kind of ticked the boxes I wanted to tick. And when you consume enough information, it gives you some confidence. So I was riding on that little confidence that I was able to to find in that year.
And if you were to put them down into like what specific strategies, resources, or mindset shifts, in terms of resources, you were consuming a lot of biographies.
Yeah.
Mindset shifts.
Yeah.
Hope.
Yeah. Hope. Yeah.
Strategies. Yeah. Could you elaborate on, like?
It's a good question. I think it was people. My strategy was people. I learned very early that my success was in the hands of human beings. Right. So I'm like, okay, if that's the case, all I need to do is to find and be friends with those human beings. That's really started off this my broker life and middleman and connector. I was conscious about my understanding of relationships. I know how it works. Right? It's probably my greatest skill. And it was the strategy that, even though like calling relationship building a strategy, in hindsight, I was writing an article I'll probably publish at some point.
Okay.
Okay,
you can't tell us what it is. Yet.
It's about relationships. I was just trying to explain my opinion about friendships and relationships, because in my line of work, you don't really make friends, right? You don't really make real friends.
I get what you mean.
You make deal friends, So
the guy for this, the guy for this.
I'm well connected. I know so many people, but like I can't call them my friends.
Yeah.
Like we're only useful for each other because of the things that we know we can get from each other. And I started getting comfortable with the concept of transactional relationships. Yeah. Which is, I think, another failure in my life. Like I sucked at real friendships.
That's a bit weird. It's weird that you're saying that, because there's some people I've interviewed them that are part of what I'll say a quote unquote ecosystem. It could be a musical ecosystem. It could be an ecosystem of quote unquote other creatives.
Yeah.
Where they'll help each other for X, Y, and Z, but they're all kind of helping each other. And they will say that they're friends.
Yeah, we use the term loosely, but do you know their house?
Yeah.
I think that's the foundational
that's
metric for me. If you don't know where I live, can you really call yourself my friend?
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good way of putting it.
So I'm like, yeah, it's okay. At the end of the day, I think it's the intention that matters the most.
I'll be interested in reading this article.
Yeah, I will share. It's actually Tunde, when I was working with Tunde, that said this thing to me about we will all use each other. Just make sure we don't misuse each other.
Wow. That sounds like a prophet.
Yeah, no, Tunde is very philosophical, And so I learned that, and I think I just made peace with it, even though like it has made me lose friendships that wanted something more genuine. And when somebody's trying to come into my life, I'm just already wondering, what do you want? Yeah. So it's a traumatic response.
I think it's also a byproduct of the industry you're in, though. That's the thing.
It's, I have a friend. I had a friend that told me we had an issue, we had a falling out, and then he calls me like a few weeks after and said, he knows that this is tough friendship wise, but we know we need each other in this business. So feel free to call me when you need something. I will feel free to call you when I need something.
Wow.
Yeah, he told me that. And I was first offended. But very quickly, I'm like, you know what?
So basically, you've had a falling out.
Yeah.
That friendship is gone.
Yeah.
But then we're in the same industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
Are we going to leave money on the table because of some petty beef?
Wow.
Right.
Damn.
And it happens to me more than you will imagine. Like,
Wow.
where I fall out with people and we still get to work. Because in this industry,
That's
we are
another
able
level,
to
man.
compartmentalize, you know. So, I definitely feel that friendships. Definitely.
God.
But it's kind of
Could you
ironic
count how many friends you have?
that I have. Yeah, on one hand.
Yay.
on one hand, yeah, I definitely can count on this hand. Yeah, and I haven't even been the best of friends to those ones that have chosen me over and over
It's
and over
hard
and
as
over
we
and
get
over.
older,
Right.
though,
So
with
one of the
time.
things I really want to do this year is why I wrote the article at the beginning of the year to just wrote it for myself. Then I'll choose to share it with the world to just try and do better with making real friends, because there are some people that actually just want to be real and genuine friends. Not everybody is a deal friend, you know. So that was the strategy when I was trying to figure out my approach. It's like, make friends, build relationships. I saw how my bosses were doing it. Like, they were constantly out in the evening in lounges at you know, different events, just to. So this concept of networking was what I was born into in advertising, and the strategy worked because all the money you're going to make in the world is in the hands of human beings. It's not in the sky. Right? So you need to find the people and exchange value. It's really that simple.
It really is.
So I grew up in that, with that understanding, and I kind of took it like, I'm going to constantly make friends. I'm going to constantly build relationships. So because as a talent manager, if you can't, the moment your clients can make a call and close a deal without you involved, you are done. You know? So you have to constantly be ahead of it. So I'm a relationship guy.
God.
Yeah, I'm big on that. Yeah.
So who would you say you've mentioned to, but I just want, because this is a specific segment there, who would you say the key people were in terms of helping you get to where you are today?
Yeah, I've mentioned Oluyomi Ojo.
Why? Like these two people you mentioned and whoever else you can.
Yeah. So
how do they help you get to where you are today?
Yomi was a believer, right? And he was also a seer. You could see that there was something there, even when I wasn't that, right? So in 1 year working with him, I grew very, very rapidly, that I even left. You know, after I paid for my advertising school, I got an offer.
Wow.
That took me away from him to another agency. And he didn't feel good about that, but we eventually settled it, right? But he kind of poured into me. I remember every week he would give me a book to read, and I have to come and give him a review on Friday.
That's a proper mentor.
Yeah.
Somebody looking out for you.
Sometimes I read it, sometimes I don't. I just Google the summary, you know. But it was a major part of my career. And the next person I worked with was exactly the same thing. So those two people, Oluyomi Ojo and Ferdinand Adimefe, who now runs one of the major animation studios in Nigeria. I was his first creative director, and it took me everywhere. He was, I think, the understanding that I have about relationships, it was from Freddie. Yeah, he knew people, and he knew how to, you know, connect with people.
I definitely have to speak to you off camera about some
he knew how to connect with people, and he would just say, "Oh, Tai," he calls me Tai, and let's go for this meeting. I wouldn't have details. And then we get into the car, we drive, we get to this destination, we enter the house. It's a meeting with Genevieve.
Oh wow.
Right. I'm like, oh.
So he wouldn't even let you know.
Just like... So in that moment you have to learn stoicism. Because you are going to negotiate something, you can't let your love or your fanatism.
You got
so I learned a lot from him. Like, so it's when we leave that we'll be squeaking. I'm like, oh shit, did I just meet you know? So it's why I can sit across the table with Rankula, with anybody in the world, and I won't be faced, right? But like, I'll let them know I respect what they do and admire them, but I will keep a straight face. When I leave, I'll call my family. So I learned that from him. So he also really contributed to my career, and I think the thing about creatives, I was a designer and art director at these agencies, and when you see your work coming out of your computer, right, and on the world, on screens, on billboards, it's very surreal, right?
Yeah.
And it made sure that happened. That didn't happen a lot with Yomi, but with Freddie, like if I work on something today, I'm on the road tomorrow, I'm seeing it, and it was very, very, very affirming. I think that those two people, and then Steve Babaiko. Yeah. Steve Babaiko was not a direct mentor. We were cordial, but like I learned a lot from him. He was the one that actually taught me about failure. Right. It said something to me that I will never, it's been like my mantra since then. It taught me fail fast. Yeah. I heard that from him. Because you don't want to spend years trying to convince yourself that you succeed at something. Fail fast so that you can quickly pivot.
Learn,
Yeah.
pivot.
Yeah. So I'm a product of people. Like I was carried, right? And I can't even like exhaust all the people that have contributed to my career in one way or the other. Even the ones that are not like, big shots. My colleagues, Uche taught me a lot about humility. Like at the time when I was working with Yomi, Uche was a creative director. I was an intern. You would never know. Like the kind of relationship we built, you would thought we were peers. It was by every standard my senior. And it just made you realize that what do you really have that you can't calm down, So I've learned a lot from different people.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And I guess we get to the cocoa now.
Yeah.
Which is, what are the 3 key takeaways you would provide to our audience in terms of, growth through failure, your experience?
Yeah. One of the most important projects that I ever worked on was a documentary project called Road to Blow.
Road to Blow.
For people who were culturally involved in Lagos in COVID 2019,
It was random.
it was quite a phenomenon because we built a platform on Instagram that was largely followed. Like everybody you can imagine was following that page, like from like even American celebrities, because we were teaching emerging talent how to navigate their road to stardom using Pigeon. Yeah. So it was so relatable that he had like appeal, massive commercial appeal. Like Don Jazzy invited me to his house because of Road to Blow.
Wow.
Right. And I thought I succeeded at it. Right. Because at the time, that kind of appeal, I would consider that kind of appeal success, if you get what I mean. We then made the documentary. He had 10 emerging talent that have been grinding for about 10 years without blow or success, right? We told their stories. We followed them to their different, places of work and where they lived. There was a rapper we discovered who was a welder during the day.
Wow.
And a fantastic rapper at night. Like, beautiful story. And because, we had this audience ready to receive it, we were convinced that this was going to be a hit, right? So we made the documentary. I spent everything I had. Like, I sold everything I had to make this thing. I sold my car. Like, it was that kind of project.
God.
Yeah. Where I was so confident about the success of it. I was down to nothing. In fact, I raised some money because I was down to nothing. So somebody who really believed in the work at the time sent me another money that just keep going. So yeah, the documentary was ready. We spent sleepless night trying to even edit it and every time we watched it, it was just like, yes, the day this thing drops, So it premiered at a film festival called Afrif. Yeah. And they had to give us 3 other screens because the one that they thought we needed was packed.
Oh wow.
With people. Like it was sold out. So we had 3 screens that was sold out consecutively for people who came to watch the documentary. So again, this is success now, Abby. We got nominated for the AMVCAs, right? Again, beautiful. We showed up for the event. We didn't win, but it felt good that, I was nominated for that. So it was time to put the documentary out for the world to see. So a few people have seen it around festivals because we submitted it all around, but it was not publicly available, right? So I was already talking to the relationships that I had, the people that I've built relationships with in the industry who were like distributors or aggregators. At the time, Netflix was just coming into town.
Yeah.
We're talking to Moses even, right?
Okay.
I wish he was there so I can put him on the spot. But it was a very hard sell. We tried cinemas, we tried everything. Like, okay, how do we release this thing to the world? Because I needed to make the money that I spent back. Everybody was telling us no.
God.
Like, I've never received more no's in my life than when we made Road to Blow. You know, at some point, I'll go and watch it again. I'm like, is there anything wrong with this thing? You know, but the thing about creative people is that you become very attached to what you create. That it's hard for you to see the problems that it's facing. You know, it's hard for you to critique it.
Because you put so much blood, sweat, and tears into
So I
this.
was very emotional about it.
Yeah.
It was personal for me. So in hindsight, I actually see what was wrong with it. You know, but at the time, I was like, well, what's going on? Why is everybody telling us no? Some people that will tell us yes, we come back and say no. We had a real life event, like a party, just to celebrate all the people that was in documentary. We had MI perform. Like, it was, people were jumping the fence. There was cultural appeal, because for people who had followed it online, they wanted to just put a face to the people behind it. But something that had that level of appeal was hard to sell. And
So what is the takeaway?
I started, I'm getting there. I started making peace with the fact that this will never see the light of day. You know. But then I got a call from the guys at MultiChoice that, okay, they wanted to have a conversation, you know. And then I was on call with them with my lawyer, and they made an offer for the first time. And they made an offer of 20 million naira for what I spent about that on, or even more. And he broke my heart. And I told my lawyer that, no, we're not going to do this. And he was like, no, I should take it. That this is not what will change your life. This is supposed to just announce you, put it out there first. I insisted that no, I was not going to take it. Again, emotions and, you know, personal.
Because of everything.
So I walked away from 20 million naira
God.
at that time.
Yeah, I know. It's not now. It's not
Because
the
of
same
something
20.
I thought was going to succeed regardless. As I speak to you today, this project is nowhere. Right. And until I actually tagged it a failure before I could move on from it. You know. What I'm trying to say is that you must name things what they are. Right. You can convince yourself that, oh, let's change style, let's change strategy. It has served its purpose. It has touched the people it was supposed to touch. Right. It has impacted people. It does not have to be straight out of Compton.
It doesn't have, this massive.
Not everybody will be whiskeyed. In fact, we probably cannot recreate a whiskey in this generation with all I know about that industry, right? There will be other types of successes. There are people who are performing every weekend and they're making consistent 1 million naira, 700K there. They're fine. They're feeding their family.
Yeah.
So you must define what failure is. People always say define your success.
That's a really
You
good
must also define your failure, because I just kept on going at it. So I made peace with it, and it's in my hard drive somewhere. And I've done so many things from that moment on because of the relationships I built when I was making that. I mean, I was in Don Jazzy's house, right? I know, like, I have relationships with all these people, you know, because of that. Even though the product itself did not particularly succeed, the lives that changed, the lives that was impacted, the things that happened to me myself based on that project, I can never say no to that failure. I chose it. I like it, you know. But it took me a while to identify it as failure, you know. And for me, I think it's important to name it, you know, and move on from there and get the lessons out. So what I would tell anybody right now is there's probably something they're working on that is not working. You know, there are things you have to kind of start making peace with. Is it you? Is it the market? Is it the product? If it's a combination of everything, you might as well just call it a day.
Yeah.
Because I think life is very long, right? And it's the same way they say it's short, it's also long. That you have not met the things you will create that will change your life. So if you keep holding on to, this project, this art, this music, that this is the one, you will be pleasantly surprised. Yeah. So let it go, right? So that you can even free yourself up to make other things.
Yeah. Wow.
That's what I think.
That's powerful, man. God. I don't know how you can get two more from that.
Honestly, I think with the story, anybody can extract the other two.
God.
I think they can extract the other two. But
That's one key takeaway there. It doesn't have to be three. That was a very powerful.
It was a major moment, and
God.
I will never trade it for anything. I like that. I feel that. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Like we're gonna move to the rapid fire questions to get to know you more.
Okay.
For our audience to know you a bit more. So there's a few questions. What's one book you'd recommend? I mean, you were talking about certain books.
Two books. Why? Can I give you two?
You can give me.
Okay. The first one is The Virgin Way.
From who?
By Richard Branson.
Okay.
It will really make you know that these things are possible. And we all need that. We all need that reminder that these things are possible. The other book will be Bob Iger's book. I'm trying to remember the title now.
Oh.
Ride of a Lifetime. I think that's the most honest memoir I've ever read in my life.
That's the former Disney CEO. Yeah.
Oh man, he poured. If you're trying to build anything in this business, you should read that book. It's like it should be mandatory for every creative person. Yeah. It's everything. The book says everything about everything. Yeah. Like there is no real. It was not just about, first of all, leading an organization as complex as that, and then getting fired, and then getting hired again.
Yeah.
In the middle of a very complicated world, right? And how this guy understood how to manage chaos and crisis at the highest levels. Man, something else.
It really was his passion and calling for him to even want to go back.
Yeah.
After they let him go.
Yeah. Those two books I think I'll recommend for anybody trying to build this in this industry.
Yeah. What's a quote you live by, if any at all?
We get here how we can. It's what we do here that matters.
What does that mean?
It's actually from a film. It's from a film that we kind of want to define how we become successful. We want it to be in some pre-designed way so that the story is beautiful to tell. If you stumble on success, take it. If you are a one-hit wonder, take it. If it's Big Brother, take it. Well, in like this battle for attention, that's all we want, right? So when you get the attention, choose whatever you want to do with it, right? And I'm a strong believer in every success will be different. And if people don't understand that, if to them feel like, oh, your own success story is sweeter than mine, but we are both successful, if you get what I mean, because of the way you have defined it. So I feel like it's important to understand that. So the film is about the story of Alfred Nobel. Yeah, the guy who invented the Nobel Prize. Yeah. But what people don't know is also the guy who invented the explosive dynamite.
He invented dynamite? Oh, what?
Yeah. So on his dying bed, he wanted to rewrite his legacy, and was awarding prizes for physics. Right? That was it. So it was. Nobody knows that story anymore. So he got there, however he got there.
So he flipped it to piece.
He flipped it. Same with Winston Churchill. Yeah. So I just really like that concept because we live in a very interesting world now with the advent of social media that people can become successful without trying.
Yeah.
And while everybody might have opinions about those types of successes, I'm okay with it. If you can flip the script and make something out of it. How you got here doesn't matter. Just make sure that while you're here, it really matters. What you do matters. That's my favorite quote.
Wow. I think I might know what your answer is here, but you might surprise me.
Okay.
What's one skill you think everyone should have?
What do you think the answer is?
Yeah.
It's relationships, bro. Right? It will change your life. It's really just, but it's also very hard. Very hard because trusting is hard. You know,
Yeah.
but every relationship is a risk.
Yeah.
You just hope that this one counts for what it counts for. So if I'm going to tell anybody to build a skill, it's like learn how to make friends. People want to work with people they like.
Simple as
That.
Simple
Right.
as that.
The moment a vacancy is put out, it's for people that they don't like. It has been sent like weeks and weeks
Yeah.
ahead to people that they like to apply. You know,
It's true.
yeah.
Before it even
Yeah,
gets.
if I saw an opportunity. I know the person currently occupying that role, so I sent him that. Are you leaving? I said, "Oh, no, I should not worry about that. Too. Like it's already done. It's already
Yeah.
that, but they have to because of
Yeah,
their board,
because
right?
of the stuff,
You
yeah.
know, to put it out there. You know, so it's like if you are not liked or if you are not friends with those people, if you are not, you know, I really think it would be a long journey.
It is.
Right. Skills can open these doors and everything, but honestly, like just being likable and, you know, being friends with people who like you, I think goes a very long way.
It does. It does. What's one habit you're trying to build and another you're trying to break?
I'm trying to be a better friend. You remember I spoke
Yeah.
earlier about
Likewise, yeah.
real friends and deal friends. I have a lot of deal friends. I don't have a lot of real friends. So I'm trying to make more real friends. I'm trying to be more on time with people who are on time with me. I'm trying to show up for people who show up for me. I think I've become comfortable because I'm a very busy person. It can sound cool that, oh, I don't respond to somebody in 2 days or in 3 days. And it's not cool, to be honest. Like I remember watching a podcast with Jamie Dimon. I think
Yeah.
the JP Morgan
Yeah.
guy. And who's busier than that guy? But somehow he walks his dog in the morning, he takes his daughter to school. I'm like,
I don't know where they find that time.
yeah, so
Very
who am I?
efficient.
You know, so I'm trying to make it less of like a badge of honor, you know, that I'm busy, and to actually find systems that can make me present with people that I'm present with. So that's a habit I'm trying to break.
I might speak to you about a friend's startup that's
Okay.
actually trying to help you manage your time in terms of almost like collating all of your relationships. So everybody that you have in your phone and email and whatever, and it's almost like not a CRM, but like a personal life CRM, as it were, relationship
I will
manager.
buy that.
It's amazing, like what he's trying to. And the point was, he decided on thinking of doing this because he was working in venture capital, and in venture capital, you need to have a lot of relationships to see what kind of deals are like that make sense, what startups are like potentially interesting in investing in and stuff like that. So he built up a big network of friends or acquaintances, but keeping in contact with people, being present with those people, he was finding it hard.
Have you heard of the Dunbar's number?
No.
There's this concept that human beings can only maintain 15 relationships in a lifetime.
Interesting.
Yeah. You should read about it. Dunbar, Dumbars. Yeah.
I also learned that Rockefeller,
Yeah.
I mean, one of the richest men ever,
Yeah.
he had a literal Rolodex of all the people he had any kind of business dealings with. He wrote their names down, their family names down, like if they had kids,
Interesting.
pets, and a little anecdote for
Interesting.
each one of those people. And this is pre-internet or anything, right? And he just had a Rolodex. And so anytime he was about to go and meet someone or whatever, he just look at, oh, okay. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, how's your wife, your daughter? And name them by name.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton was also another one like this. So it's not an accident that he got to where he got to. It's because he was very,
intentional
very
about-
intentional
yeah.
about this stuff.
Yeah, I once met a man who I needed a favor from and I couldn't afford to pay him. So I was asking for, okay, what can I give you back, right? And he told me that he has a book that he's keeping for his only son, who, this man is in his 50s, but he still has a teenage son because he had a child late, right? So it's like by the time his son will be like a grown adult, you'll probably be old or
Yeah.
dying, you know. So it's compiling this list of people that are obligated to answer a call from his son if it ever happens.
Oh, wow.
It was like, he might never call you. I will do all I can to make sure he never has to call you. But if he does, you are obligated to do whatever he needs.
That is an amazing.
And it was actually a little creapy at first.
Yeah,
You know?
I've never heard
You
of
know?
anything like this.
So I'm like, he said, will I do it? Then he will do whatever I want for free. I said, okay, sure.
wow.
Yeah. So people build relationships differently, and the son doesn't even know what is coming, because I can imagine the people on that list.
That is amazing.
Because this is one of the biggest thought leaders we have around town, and
Wow.
So everybody knows this relationship thing. It's just how to practice.
God.
So we have to all learn.
If you weren't in your current profession, what would you be doing?
I'll still be bringing people together in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not as a talent agent, but somehow I feel like this is what I would do till like that. I feel like I'll be 90 and I'll still be calling. Yeah, so where are you now? Yeah, I love it. I think it's my calling. Yeah.
If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would
Clarence
that be?
Evans. Clarence Evans is the Black Godfather. It's the guy who made Black America and White America close in terms of earning. Obviously, they are not the same still, but like he represented Michael Jackson, Sarah Vaughan, Luther Vandross, Muhammad Ali, but he is the Black Godfather.
Who is this guy?
So he has a documentary on Netflix called.
I think I watched it. No.
Yeah, he's my
He had a
idol.
very complicated personal.
Oh, yeah,
like a
absolutely.
very complicated personal. life.
I don't know how he did it in a time where there were no computers, right?
Yeah, he was the ultimate.
Oh yeah, it was the ultimate
connector.
connector. There is nobody who was in Black Hollywood that was not touched by Clarence Evans.
I need to. I need
So
to watch
it's dead
that.
now.
Yeah.
And it passed just like last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
After his wife was shot in their house, right? So, but his daughter is married to the Netflix CEO, Ted Sarandos.
Yes,
So she made this documentary film about him.
That is wild.
I will definitely sit with him.
I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
it. That's cool. Final question. What does success mean to you?
Retiring early.
But you'll still be making calls.
Oh yeah, well, like you'll come to my country home, wherever that is. Yeah, the way there's some people, if I want to see now, I know where I would drive to go and meet them. Yeah, I just know that I don't want to be in this chase forever, and whenever I'm able to achieve that pause on the chase where I attract, or where I don't have to necessarily like grind to make, I will believe I'm successful at that point. You know, I really think that's my destiny. I don't want a lot out of life, you know, but my comfort is very important. You know?
A friend of mine said his definition of success. This is way before I did the podcast. We were just talking, and he said his definition of success is him being in his house, not his current house, like a house he has, with a bathrobe and at the pool, and people come in full suits pitching their business ideas to
That kind of thing, right? Like you're
just
like,
in the
well,
bathrobe. And he
I
just
should come
flips
to you,
through the
baby.
thing. It's just, okay, yeah, you know what? I need it a bit shorter, please.
Yeah.
Come back with a one page.
Yeah.
I don't want like a long.
Yeah. Once my family can have anything they want, and it's not because I have to go to work, man, I'm done.
Very good.
I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
Thanks.
Man, this was great. This is really. You really.
Thank you.
Wow, that was powerful, man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Growth Through Failure, where we overcome failure one story at a time. Enjoy the episode, then like, subscribe, and share with your circle. Remember, failure is a stepping stone to success. So stay resilient, stay curious, and embrace the power of failure.